How's it? Today is Saturday, December 31st. It's the last day of the month. I am doing my now routine SBD. So squat, bench press, deadlift. Um, yeah, I'm going just a little bit higher than I did last week. So basically, the squat is 3 by 3 at wherever I did my weights on Wednesday. So I did 122 earlier this week. The bench press is 5 pounds up from last week. The deadlift is 3 kilos up from last week. So not too big increases, but I think the only thing that was actually moving all right today, oddly enough, was my squat. And that's not even saying my squat was really good. It just was moving better than the other things that I was doing, which is it's neither here nor there. But I made it through today. My deadlifts, like always, absolute trash. Fucking hot garbage, like a fire in the garbage, like just steaming pile of shit, It's just really bad. I think that I was getting somewhere with my first rep on a couple of the sets, but then the fifth rep on almost all of them just looked terrible. And I'm not sure if it was because I was rushing, because today's a little bit of a earlier Saturday at work, so I needed to go in a little bit earlier, so I need to make sure that I have time to eat and all this stuff. Um, but yeah, I don't know how I'm going to be doing this moving forward. As far as the bench press goes, at least, 195 is not super difficult, but towards the end of the 5 sets, I was getting a little bit more fatigued than I expected to, and that in itself is challenging because I think when I'm benching, I don't get a lot of leg drive, and maybe that's an issue with the way I bench. But at the heavier 195, I try my best to keep my hips on the bench, and if I do that, then I almost get no leg drive. Here's just my 195, the first set here. But then if I get a little bit of leg drive, then my hips come up off of the bench. You can see there, it does come up off of the bench. I'm not sure if these would be considered legal because I think technically my butt is still touching the bench, but in the later sets they were absolutely not, indicating that I was struggling a lot more than I wanted to be. And then after that, I moved to my deadlifts here. I think for my warm-up sets, I do just 70, 120, and then I go to the 146. Honestly, I think that I was figuring out how to get proper bracing through my core on the warm up sets, but I just wasn't able to do so beyond the first rep of most of my sets. I think that some of the first reps on the sets did not look super great, but otherwise, I think that first rep was indicative of how I'm trying to lift. But yeah, it gets to the point where towards the end where it's like not moving super well. So you see here, that first rep is pretty good. I think I'm able to keep my hips a little bit higher and allow my body to push further over the bar, which creates a better angle. And then, that's only the third rep there. I'm starting to round, like a lot. 4, and it doesn't get better with as far as reps go further on. And I can tell how I'm feeling. I mean, of course, when I'm lifting the rep, but more so when I'm about to do the lockout for the lift. So again, pretty good first rep, right? Not too bad second rep here. But I think when I'm talking about like the lockout itself, this set might actually be the best set that I did, the second set here. But the lockout for the lift is when it looks like I have to lean back just to lock out and lean back to line up my hips, then I know I'm struggling. Yeah, I think that second set was the best set. Um, so yeah, like I said, first rep is pretty good. I think overall, it seems like if you just look at, I don't know, I've said it like 7 times already, the first rep of these sets, it looks like I'm actually figuring some things out. I think that if I'm able to maintain that type of technique for the third rep, the fourth rep, then my deadlifts would look a lot better and I will be lifting more. Does that mean I'm stronger? It generally does, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it means I'm just the same strength, but I'm utilizing my technique a little bit better. I think one thing that when I was little that I learned was that like if you lift with bad technique, as long as you don't get hurt, because it's because you're making the movement artificially harder for whatever reason, then that will actually help you build a little bit more muscles. Kind of weird thought to think about, but when you think about how when you swing a little bit on like shoulder movements or I'm talking about like lateral raises or front raises or like bicep curls, it often works extra muscles that you're not targeting. So it'll work like your chops when you're doing those lateral raises and stuff with the little swing, right? So those types of things, like in under magnifying glass, making it harder might build other muscles. All that to say is my perspective about me being weak versus strong is really weird, and a lot of people don't think about it like that. This is my last set here. I'm starting to ramble. I need to head out to work pretty soon, but watch this last rep here. Woohoo! Big, 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 big bend. But that's it for today. That's it for this year. Thank you for watching, and Happy New Year. Shoots.